This one's going to be put in multiple categories, playlists, because it occurred over a long, long time. I wrote a story. This new startup publication was asking people, do you have a story concerning this area, the area? Email us. And this story was kind of long, so I had to do it in segments. After the second one, the co-owner, I guess that's who it was, asked me to write for them. That was such a great story, at least starting out. And it is. It's one of the best ones. So you're about to hear one of the best stories, and here's how it all began. It began back in 1980. I and some co-workers went to take some LSD and go camping. And we started out in the middle of the night after work, because we get off work late. To be 10, 11 o'clock before we leave the place. And that was nice of them to invite me. There was a total of 7 of us that went. One of them didn't work there, though, but that was might have the one that supplied the LSD. So we got up there, and then the next morning I took a little hike. The LSD was not all it's cracked up to be, by the way. But anyway, that's not what this story's about. Took a hike up a hill, and I found this rock, large rock about the size of a brick, not shaped like one, but about that big. And it had all these crystals in it, like purple crystals, and beautiful. It was just beautiful. I picked it up and took it back and showed my friends, and I tried to. We were packing up, and I tried to take it home. We had 2 cars of people in them. Not in my car, they said, and they explained to me that it is against the. Not only is it against the rules, it's just bad karma, or just something you just don't do, is take anything out of this sacred park. So, yeah, I kind of agree. It's just one little rock, right? But still, I get the message. So I left it there. Now, this was back in 1980, and all through that decade and into the next one, and probably somewhat still to this day, not so much anymore, but there was this infatuation with people and their crystals. It's like people selling them, people wearing them, people putting them on the dashboard, on the walls, all over the place. You see those things everywhere, the crystals. And, I've seen places, come to think of it, I don't know if it was that particular national park, but I do recall seeing some place where somebody just dug a big cavity into the ground or the side of a hill, and dug out a bunch of them crystals, make money off them. And, so they just, they just desecrate the earth when they do that. But anyway, that's just people think they have magic powers or whatnot. You know, they do have industrial. They can perhaps that could be what when they said I had vertigo. Now I'm thinking it's something that is not that at all. But I was explained about the crystals inside your head, between your ears, somewhere down near your ears, and they're navigators. The crystals they navigate. So if you were to wear a crystal necklace, that's something I might want to try. In fact, I might have one somewhere down in the junk box somewhere. Okay, so now the story goes fast forwards to 17 years later, 1997. I didn't return to that part until 17 years later. I asked my brother if he wanted to go. He had never seen it. I said, "Oh, you got to check this place out. This place is amazing." And so we spent a day there. And as we were hiking, I don't know where we were exactly. It was just kind of in a flat area, just hiking along, and I found an arrowhead, a little red one, and it was in good shape, and I kept it. I think my brother must have said, "Pop would like to see that," because maybe that's another story within itself, how the three of us would always go arrowhead hunting. And yeah, and so I mailed it to him, and he got it. It went all the way across the country. Okay, so now fast forward again, and I continued to go to the park another couple times anyway, camping, and took my dog. One of the times anyway, the dog came. But then in 2006, I think, was the year that my father died. And I was actually helping out. I don't know how much of a help I was. I was drinking too much glycol. That's what you call the synthetic vodka. And just having all kinds of, that was my main problem. But I mean, we were each take turns driving back and forth to his treatment. He's going through some experiment trying to get rid of cancer, and we'd drive back and forth, sharing the driving chores. I would just be his friend, hang out with him, and then he was drinking too. Would sit by the fireplace. My mother had died, and we occupied the condo, and I paid the utilities. I mean, I'm just saying, I was just doing what was the right thing to do. It was a very depressing time, but you know, my sister was the biggest help. Her and my brother-in-law, and then my other brother, and they both of the brothers, but one of them, he split the scene because of his neurotic girlfriend. That's another, but that's irrelevant to what I'm trying to say now. Okay, now, so this is what this is all leading up to. The morning when I was to leave, I had to get back home and get to work. I couldn't. I stayed a good long, I don't know how long, a couple of months, and that was it. It was time for me to leave, so that morning I gave him a hug, and he said, "Now close your eyes and hold out your hand," and like he had done so many times when I was little, maybe, but and he placed that little red arrowhead in my hand. I says, "Oh, well, we knew he was gonna die, So he just wanted to see. And Arrowhead's not for keeping, it's for sharing, kind of a deal. Like, I don't know. That's just what happened. I wound up back with the little red arrowhead, which, remember, was not supposed to leave the park. Okay, so many years went by, bring us all the way up to 2014. And that was the year of a burglary in which I was burglarized. And lots of stuff I lost. Well, it was kind of cheap, but it was important. And it was good for composing because it was real light. It was a Epiphone copy. It didn't sound bad at all. I put 8-gauge, I call them 8s, about as light, the lightest ones on it. But it was a backup guitar, which I seldom ever need because I rarely break strings. But and a microphone, but it was about the cheapest one. And then there's all kinds. They had got into my cigar box with silver coins and some other things. A garnet, which was gonna. If I ever got serious about marrying a woman, I was gonna use it, have it cut and put make into an engagement ring. That's my plan for it. A real nice garnet found in Colorado. And they got other things they stole. I don't want to go through the whole list. And that was a real big mess. And in the cigar box was the little red arrowhead, but it was on the floor with a few things that they had just ransacked. So it survived the burglary. The little red arrowhead survived the burglary. Okay, and then fast forward again. Not that long though, about another year, I found myself up there near that place where the little arrowhead came from. Oh, dang it. No. Yeah. Um, and I just got to thinking, I may have been, had this thought for quite some time. You know, I'm just going to take it up to the ranger station, which is just right up the hill, and give it to them. Tell them the little story behind it if they want to listen. And I did. That's what I did. So we were able to finish that story. It's one of the better ones. So, yeah, well, I hope you will like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.